I didn't realize you had this many people.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people here. Yeah.
Okay.
How tall are you, Mr. Beast? You're tall. Wow.
6'4".
Oh, it's 6'4".
Yeah.
What? by the way-
There's on that, every time I say my height, there's a subreddit where they're like compare people's heights. And like now that I said that, when I open up Reddit, it's gonna be them comparing me to other celebrities, and their theory is that I'm 6'2" and I lie about it, and I'm just like, and so now I have to read theories about
I'm
that.
6. Yeah. So it's definitely. What? By the way, what do I call you?
I mean, Jimmy or Mr. Beast? Just call me Mr. Beast.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Beast. Let's have some fun. Let's get crazy.
All right, let's get crazy. I'll do it.
Mr. Beast.
And Mr. Beast came from what, an Xbox?
Yeah. So
Gamer
when you create an account, it just gives you a random name.
Yeah.
And it gave me like Mr. Beast 6000, and I was like, good enough, Mr. Beast.
So you just lost the 6,000.
Yeah, because once I started like getting views on my videos, everyone was like, what's the 6,000? I was like, I don't know.
Wow, yeah.
And then after a while, I was just like, okay, I'll just get rid of it. No,
Did you
Mr. Beast.
consider any other names besides Mr. Beast?
That's a great question. So actually, because I do so many like weird different things.
Yeah.
At one point when I was in like high school, I had a little bit of like a mental breakdown. I was like, should my channel be Mr. Random? Because everything I do is random. And I almost switched it there, but then I like
Mr. Random.
Mr. Random, because like one day I'm in the pyramids, the next day I'm buried alive, the next day we're giving 1 million people food. I was like, it's always random. This is more on brand.
That's good. And it's amazing what you do.
Well, I mean, you don't have to clap because I killed it. It died.
Mr. Beast is good.
Yeah, it worked
Mr.
out.
Random sounds like an Offspring Stranger Things character that we don't talk about.
Make a good Marvel villain.
Yeah, this is your first time on the show, so I thought we can get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
You first started posting videos, was it on YouTube 15 years ago?
Wow. Yeah, when I was 11, 15, 16 years ago, yeah.
And you turned it into the most subscribed channel in history. Do you remember the first post that you did?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting story. I was playing this Facebook game called Battle Pirates. None of you have ever heard of it. Like, no one plays this game.
Battle Pirates?
Yeah, Battle Pirates. I was a little kid, and some hacker, like, destroyed my base. And I was like, I want to get him banned. So I filmed it, like, with a little screen recorder, uploaded it. It got, like, 5,000 views, and the person did end up getting banned.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, this is sick. Yeah, and that I was like, this is kind of fun. And then it kind of snowballed into...
Like, the internet's powerful.
Yeah, I got lucky because the first video got views, and I was like, oh, this is easy. And then the next like 500 videos, no views.
What was the first video that took off after those?
My proudest accomplishment, I counted to 100,000. Yeah, I literally just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, you could do the greatest
Yeah,
hits. 11,
12, 13,
I understand.
14,
Yeah.
16,
But all the way,
17,
no breaks, nothing?
Yeah, 40 hours straight. 40 hours of counting.
What would make you want to do something like that?
Well, if you want to know the truth, I was watching this Game of Thrones / this other show called Naruto, and I was like, man, this is such a waste of time. Like, I'm not making money doing this. And I was like, I thought about this. I'm not even joking. How can I make money while watching shows I like? And I was like, well, what if while I watch it, I just record myself counting? And it worked out. The entire time I was watching Game of Thrones and Naruto. But people don't know that. And it's just me counting. And so it looks like I'm just sitting there staring at a wall for, 40 hours.
Yeah, and people are just clicking on it going, I can't believe this dude is counting to 100,000.
Yeah, no, you're being too nice. They're more clicking like, what is this idiot doing? What an absolute moron.
You do so many fun things. Let me just read some of the titles of your videos.
Oh, gosh.
One is Stop This Train, Win a Lamborghini.
Yep. That's one of my favorite videos because
Really?
we put a Lamborghini on train tracks, and then I gave someone my credit card. I said they could buy whatever they want, and if they stop the train before it gets to the Lamborghini, basically derail it, they get to keep the Lamborghini. And so they built like concrete walls on the train tracks. They laid 18-wheelers, and then I sent a train like with a brick on the gas pedal, full speed at it, and then you see if the Lamborghini survives.
How?
I thought it was pretty cool.
No, it's very cool, but I'm saying, like, how do you legally do all this stuff? Where do you even start? Like, I can't even like wear shoes on here without asking NBC if I'm allowed to. Like,
I don't. Obviously, on YouTube, there's no network or anything, so I can, for the most part, as long as it's legal, do whatever I want.
Has there been something that you go like, this just can't be done, or wasn't done the best way?
Well, actually, like, the thing is, because we do so many big experiments and things that have never been done before, in general, what we do, we try to do stuff that you could not see anywhere else in the world. And so, like, a different video that's actually similar to this Lamborghini one, I gave a guy a yacht, put it in a lake, And then same thing, here's my credit card, build walls, do whatever you can to stop these cannons from just sinking your yacht. And if, you get to keep it. But, right?
So people are shooting cannons.
Yeah, we had like 20 cannons.
You were so fun, man.
But in this case, the thing is right before we go to shoot the cannons, I mean, we're millions of dollars deep and big shoot. Like someone goes, oh, there's a bald eagle over there. And I was like, oh, that's cool. There's bald eagle's nest.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know this, but you can't like make loud noises near bald eagle's nest because it's like they're protected and it could scare them away. And I was like, oh, so can we just pick up the nest and move it?
Yeah, of
and
course.
Logically, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Nope, that's a federal crime. So I was like, oh, you can't displace
You
bald
had to
eagles.
scrap the whole.
Oh yeah, I got like a yacht here. I got all this production crew, everything, massive shoot we've been working on for half a year, and then I'm just like, bro, it's literally just a bald eagle. Like, you're sure I can't just move its nest? And so we had to literally pack everything up, spend an obscene amounts of money, and move to a different lake. And so we have things like that happen all the time. That there's not like a manual for these kinds of things.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, okay, now I know. Survey the area for bald eagles, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
see, you live, you learn.
Exactly. We have like lists of all these things that I just didn't know.
You do so much more besides just YouTube. You have a line of toys, you have food, you have
Yeah.
a software company, you're starting a mobile phone service, you're even starting your own bank.
Yeah.
But you also do a lot of philanthropy. Tell us about some of these things that you're working on right now.
Well, I mean, where do I start? But I mean, you can tell by what he just listed. I really enjoy building businesses. I find it a lot of fun. And I guess the thing that I spend a lot of time on is just on the chocolate side with Feastables, which there's a lot of kids in a child labor that work on cacao farms. And so Feastables, we pay all our farmers a living income reference price. And we actually audit and remediate the child labor on the farms. And so, the bigger Feastables gets, the more kids we can get out of child labor on cacao farms. So that's why I'm very passionate about Feastables. And
Wow.
yeah, it's been the big focus on those.
That's the thing, right? I watch your videos. My kids watch your videos too, but that's my favorite ones when you give back and you see that you have heart and you go, yeah, this guy is using his celebrity for good.
Thank you.
Which is a good, cool move. I love that. That's what you should do. We need it. We need it.
Thank you.
You did a video you posted on your channel a few months ago called "Hi Me in 10 Years."
Yep.
You recorded this video in 2015.
Yep. And YouTube has this feature where you can schedule upload videos to go public in the future. So when I was a teenager, I filmed a video and then set it on YouTube to manually go up 10 years later. It was pretty crazy. And then that video went up like 3 months ago. I completely forgot I made it. It was pretty wild.
We have a little bit of the video. Watch,
Oh gosh,
watch this.
I look like a nerd in it.
Hi, me in 10 years. At the time I'm recording this video, I have 8,000 subscribers and 1.8 million views. So whenever you see this, compare these numbers to whatever I have when you watch this. Dude, I really hope I have 1 million subs by now. Please, future me, please. What am I doing with my hand? Please have 1 million subs.
Haircut. What is that haircut? Who let my hair look like that?
Your goal was to have 1 million subscribers. Okay, and right now, let me just say that you have 466 million subscribers and 110 billion views.
Yeah, pretty crazy. It doesn't even. It just big number. It just doesn't even seem real, to be honest.
I was thinking, since you made that video in your bedroom, maybe now you're here on the Tonight Show. Would you like to talk to yourself in 10 years?
Oh, like film something now for me in 10 years?
Yeah. So
Oh, gosh.
2036. You can look in that
camera?
Yeah, looking.
Okay, this is for 2036. Wow. Well, you're old, pretty old now. You're like 37. So hopefully you have a few kids now, and hopefully they're not spoiled. Good luck figuring that one out. And I hope you're just still making content. Hope you're still building businesses that are net positive. And I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. So thinking 10 years in the future right now is just so crazy. I guess maybe we have 1 billion subscribers, assuming people don't just randomly stop watching me. So I don't know. I feel a little put on the spot, but I'm rooting for you, and I hope it works out.
Thank you for doing that. Yes. I'm rooting for you is a good line. I'm rooting for you.
I'm rooting for me.
Yeah, I know you're rooting for you. We're all rooting for each other. Let's talk about Beast Games. You're in the middle of your second season. How do we set up what the show is?
Oh boy. Well, Beast Games is essentially like if you took a competition show and you just, crank the dial up to the max.
Yeah.
but then didn't stop and kept cranking it even though the dial broke. And you just keep turning it.
Beastify it.
Yeah, basically. And so it's, the largest cash prize ever, most contestants ever, all the usual stuff. Every season we break a bunch of world records. And so season 2, we get 100 of the strongest people in the world that I can find to go against 100 of the smartest people in the world I can find, and just some of the biggest spectacles in the world for a $5 million prize.
It is so fun to watch all of it. What you built, even the whole world that they live in.
Yeah, well, city. Yeah, so each season of Beast Games, we build a city for the contestants to live in. Because, a lot of competition shows, in between each challenge, they go to a hotel room, and I'm like, that's lame. I want them to interact with each other. I want them to live with each other and it to become a thing. So once they enter, they're playing games or they're living in the city. So it becomes like a community and they're there for 45 days.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
It's fantastic to watch. I'm a big fan, obviously. I want to show everyone a clip. This is season 2 of Beast Games. Take a look.
The rest of you have survived the first round.
How do I get back on?
Just as long as you can safely make it back to your platform. Hannah, can you get back on? Oh, Nick!
Swing over, rotate your body. Rotate your body, you got it.
Nick, you good?
Mr. Beast, everybody! New episodes of Beast Games are available every Wednesday on Prime Video. Mr. Beast and I are doing something fun after the break. Stick around, come on back.